Greetings, everyone out there who's watching this episode. Welcome to All Things Leadership Podcast. We believe that if you are a believer, you are a leader. You've got so much potential in the inside of you, and great things are still yet to be discovered in your life and in your leadership journeys. Either you are a leader at home, at work, or in an organization, anything. All things are possible. My name is Nhlaka H, and we really welcome you. Today we have an interesting guest. He is a musician. He is so skilled. He is a gatherer. He's an event coordinator, event organizer, everything that has to do with musical things. He is the guy, but he starts also from humble beginnings. And I'd like you to welcome Ulindo Kuhle Wakadlamini.
Oh, thank you, Mfundisi. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. Greetings to everybody who's watching this episode. Yes, Ulindo Kuhle Wakadlamini, popularly known as Popeye in the music space. Yes.
And how did this name Popeye come about?
Interesting question.
Yeah.
Let's just put it like that. As a kid, I was not troublesome, in the English way of speaking, not troublesome. But yeah, so I learned Popeye because extra you wouldn't believe it. One day we took our bikes at so we wanted to reach the horizon.
Sure.
Obviously when we realized no, we won't reach.
Yeah.
so those are the kind of things. Yeah. So got to Popeye, and then for some reason the musicians got it, and then it was a thing.
And then it spread like wildfire.
It's Popeye now. It's like my first name.
Okay. No, that's cool. Tell me, where do you come from, bro?
I come from the kingdom of Eswatini. This is Swaziland, yeah. The kingdom of Eswatini, yeah. I was born and raised, actually. Yeah, Eswatini, in Mbabane, the capital city.
Yeah.
But I'm Sundoza.
I'm Sundoza. From Sundoza to Msunduzi municipality in Pietermaritzburg.
Msunduzi vibes.
Yeah.
Those are my vibes.
It's the doozy vibes, right? No, that's amazing. The other time I was in Swaziland, and I was very amazed about how people actually respect law there. I try to cross Umgwaqo. And there are these lines on the road, they call it zebra lines.
Yeah, zebra crossing.
And as a pedestrian, traffic officers stopped us and they said we were breaking the law.
Yeah, it's called jaywalking. Hey guys, if you're in Swaziland, please use the zebra crossing. Don't cross the road anyway. You'll get fined.
Yo! And that wasn't fine. But anyways, somehow we were able to get away with it.
Oh. Thank God.
Tell me about your journey of coming to South Africa. What brought you here, and how can we help you?
It was music, man. The passion. I was following my heart, the passion. So I wanted to study music. So back at home at that time, I'm a varsity A2. They didn't offer much on music. We didn't have music schools. You would just have one individual who teaches an instrument. So then I had to come over Gala, because one guy that I knew, a pianist, told me, there's this UKZN offers music, there's what in Durban, there's this in Pretoria, there's what. And for some reason, I found myself in KZN, eThekwini and Maritzburg with his connections also, because he knew another pastor.
That's cool.
Who was in Maritzburg. So quite low. Since I'm a PK, so I know about Zani, they know.
Yeah, PKs are naughty, bro.
But I'm not a naughty PK. I'm a good PK.
Oh my lord.
PKs, you are well represented. Yes. So it was basically that I came over to study, and then because the environment musically was much better.
Yeah.
So we had to call home and say, hey,
yeah.
But it was basically studies.
And how long ago was this?
2013. Yeah, 2013. So it's been a while. I think I'm old.
And let's talk about what inspired you to be drawn to music. Because I remember the other day we were talking and you were saying, Muti, when you were a soccer player, what happened to that?
I think for me, that's the one thing that somehow confirms what music is a calling for me, because my first passion was football. It was soccer. I was deep in football. Ngangidlala football. Ngangibona drums manje. Ngangidlala ibhola to a point where I thought I would actually pursue football as a career, just play at a professional level, you know. But then somehow I think ukuthanda umculo then grew and outgrew into ibhola. But then ibhola lalinokuxabanisa nabazali, you know, as a PK on Sunday kufanele udlala ibhola. But when I took up the music thing, it did not clash with anything that had to do with inkolo noma ukuya enkonzweni ezingane ngaphansi kwesandla sabazali. So with that much support and the amount of joy that I found in music, I then found myself pursuing music instead of football. Wow. Yeah.
And can you recall a time where you were first exposed to something, to leadership?
I think at home I've always been the guy who leads, you know, at no magogama, you know, I'd be the one going, let's do this. Let's do this. You know, so I've always had ideas and I've never been afraid of, I have a thought, I have an idea, let's do it. So even amongst my friends, I would be the one to say, guys, I think let's do it this way. But in high school, that's where obviously I've grown a bit. Now I understand how things work. I was a prefect. We're called prefects. I don't know what they're called now. Yeah. So when the teacher, they're like, who's gonna be a prefect, Lana? And all the students are like, you know what? What? And for votes, you get the votes from the students and from the teachers at work.
And maybe you should be a president. President of music.com.
Maybe, yeah. So, but at high school level, that's where I got to be exposed to serious leadership now, that you have got responsibilities and you have to answer to certain people over these responsibilities, and there's authority that you need to exercise amongst your schoolmates. So high school was the first test which
high school got you high.
It got me high. That's high school.
No, that's incredible. And tell me about how did you come up with Simunye music concepts? Was it Simunye music concepts from the beginning?
No, Simunye music concepts came about after music school. I got an opportunity to be a musical director at church for the first time. After Umpati were to step down, so I had to step over to say, no, I can do this. And my pastor was like, okay, here's a chance, do it. You think you can lead it? Give me the team. I was still young then, and everyone was older than me. So we did that, and after a few months of leading, I thought, actually, with music, I'd love to see, because back then in Marisbeck, Kwagunama worship nights, where churches would come together, and by the time I stepped up to be musical director, there were no such gatherings anymore. So I thought it would be great to bring in musicians from different churches. Let's sing together. Let's do a worship night. So at first it was called Simunye Worship Nights because it was just about the worship.
Did I come to that show? Or was it still called Worship Nights?
I don't think I'd met you by that time.
Remember when we met though? When we were at the church that's been turned to be a club right now.
No, that was long after I started the worship nights. So it was just basically worship nights, and I would bring in musicians from different churches. So hence the name Simunye. It was like we are one. Basically, we are one. You could come from Faith Mission,
Sorry, bro, I gotta ask you this. Were you inspired by SAPC ones?
No, not at all.
Simunye, oh, we are one. Excuse me for my horrible singing. But anyways, I'm speaking to a musician.
But that was it. And then when I continued with the journey of ukuhlanganisa abantu from different churches, I actually got to realize this is the business that I want to do, music. So I had to register a company now, add my portfolio, sound higher and all that. So, but I couldn't register a business as Simunye Worship Nights. So it had to be Simunye Music Concepts, because I'm a person who thinks, I'm a person who pushes ideas. So I thought Simunye Music Concepts, all things music.
Yeah.
It could be events, the event side of music. It could be the recording studio, post-production, or just the live shows. So I thought, I want to do it all. I want to have a one-stop shop for music.
Uyimoli kahle.
Mall, so it was Simunye Music Concepts. That's how
brilliant.
the company was registered then. For transition from Simunye Worship Nights to Simunye Music Concepts.
So you have this dream, you register a company, but how do you gather people?
Hey, gathering people, man. I think that was the hardest part, because I've changed teams for good and for bad reasons. I mean, we tried to work with people, it didn't work out. Some people had to leave for school, for work, you know. Some people were called in just for that project, you know. But gathering people, I think the hardest part for me is selling the vision to them. Because if I'm saying, Mfundisi Nhlaka, I need you to come on this day, it's their time. So they need to find value, and should I leave everything on that day and come and do this? So for me, it was always been a matter of, can I sell my vision such that it's easy for me to just make a phone call and everyone is going to come? So I sold.
But how do you do that?
Obviously.
So we're meeting for the first time.
If we
I can sing, eh?
Yeah.
So what's the conversation?
So what I did, I looked for specific individuals. Like the band, I had friends who could play. Some because when it comes to the work that I wanted to do, my friends were not part of the puzzle. So I had to go look for other individuals to say, hey, look, dude, you've got the skill, you've got the personality, you've got this and that. I would like you to come and work with me. This is what I have. And they'll tell me, because of the vision, most of the guys that I work with have said, because of the vision, I'm going to commit. So for me, gathering people is not too much of hard work, because I've sold them the vision. So a lot of people are just a phone call away. Even the others, like even if I need ushers, I just talk to my team. They will run with it, because my team has got the vision. So it's easier for them to gather other people. But in the first few years, starting out, it was a bit of a struggle, because I didn't have any record. I hadn't produced any music. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to tell somebody, I want you to come and work with me, like, who are you? What do you do? It was a bit of a struggle. Yeah. So I think the best way for me was to just sell the vision. Wherever you go to, tell them, this is what I do, this is what I wanted to do, and this is how I want it to be done. And I need abantu abakanje ngicabanga ukuthi ungakwazi.
Wow.
So I've trusted the vision to do the work for me.
And how long have you been doing this for?
I started in 2015.
Oof.
Very first show I've ever done, ever. 2015. Yeah.
So now you have gathered people, sold them the vision.
Yeah.
Then how do you set up shows? Because now you have to ensure that the people you've gathered, you have a successful show.
Yeah.
So how do you communicate that? What processes do you go through?
I think it's just basically indefinite event planning. If you can plan an event, you can plan a show. It's just those little nitty-gritties as to, okay, this is music now. There has to be a phase, there has to be a phase of marketing the show, there's to be a phase of this and that. But if you can naturally plan an event, it's a wedding or just a family gathering, and get all the logistics together. So it's basically that. Sebangeza abantu do a show, concert. A successful concert.
Yeah.
How would you do it?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Do a workshop.
But if I would say, just know how to put together an event. Yeah, and then learn is it as a show. So, but in my case, I always have a calendar as to we're gonna do a show or 2 shows this year, and this show is aimed at doing this and this and this and that. And then obviously the songwriting, which we shouldn't be talking about, because I mean it's really obvious. The songwriting, people come together to learn the songs, and then from there we talk to.
So who writes the songs for you?
I write songs.
Like in your team.
I write songs. Our pianist Usubukele writes songs. Some of the vocalists like Omton and Pume, they also write songs. But for us to be able to do your songs, you have to submit your songs to me.
I just gotta ask you this.
Yeah.
Who wrote this Sarafina-ish vibe song?
That's what one I wrote.
Ooh! Guys, when it's out, that's the song. Because it gives you that sick, I think.
Yeah.
You know, that was really dope, bro.
Thank you for this.
Wow. So out of all the genres that you could pick,
Yeah.
why do gospel?
I think that's a very simple but interesting question, because I've had a number of people ask me, why when's gospel? There's only one reason that I think making sure I've answered any other question that would be there. I am a Christian, and for me, like I said, music is a calling.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to do gospel music because that's where I'm able to better express myself. Since it's a calling, everything has to relate impacting lives. So gospel music is more than just music. Music is a very powerful tool, but gospel music, especially when it comes to the spiritual aspect of things, it has what we call anointing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, other genres we don't call whatever effect they have on people anointing. So as a Christian, I had to do gospel music.
Yeah.
There are other genres that I think are just pure and innocent. Like if you're singing love songs, I will call wrong love or Tugi Mundu and that. But for me, I had to do gospel music because Funas Pushi Vangen. But one other thing, I've done secular gigs.
You've done secular gigs?
I've done secular gigs.
How do you define them?
The one thing secular gigs is the environment. I don't cope, I don't do well. They will tell you about the sevens and up. When we get to a secular gig, I'll sit emotwing until it's time for us to play. Because the music is loud. It's very frustrating for me. I can't deal with it, you know, and I can't just say and all that.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm unable to cope in that environment. So now I want to go home. So I end up not being good company also when we do secular gigs, because I just want to get there, play and go, you know. So it was just let's just do gospel music and I'll be happy.
Wow. And where do you see yourself going with this Simunye Music Concepts team?
I'll just put it in this way. I just want to build a very prestigious and huge stage.
Prestigious, eh?
Yeah. So that when you talk about Simunye, you know you aren't talking about a Mickey Mouse show or company. Yeah. So if somebody says group or I've been singing in that group, it should give you something when you're out there.
Yeah.
So we're working on that. Obviously impacting lives. Also a civil music industry, creating jobs, you know, for everyone. So yeah, it's just
cool.
Building an empire, but that's not going to benefit myself.
Yeah,
that's going to impact us and the generations to come. So I'm currently working with Utinazum as a drummer. But this coming weekend, the 4th of November, my singers, because we also hire out backing vocalists as a ceremony. So we're doing backing vocalists for PDP, Doors on Gongoma. It's legendary in this presence with Benjamin Do. So all the opening acts we're doing backing vocals for them. And the lights. I can't remember all the names now. Yeah, but we've also recently done Shoga Ayanda Shange Homecoming.
Yeah.
Shara from Just Celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did his homecoming. And in the past years we've worked with the Ayanda and dancing. We've worked with quite a lot. Even locally I don't think there's an artist that I haven't worked with locally.
Sure.
Like Marisbeck.
But how then? So you've worked with a lot of artists. How's the music scene, currently, like in 2023?
If I'm being honest, it's slowly picking up in Marisbeck. but it's not at a state where singathi iyajabulisa. we do have a couple of shows here and there, but it's not as active as in other cities. Like you go to Durban, you know where to find live music on a Sunday.
But then why choose Maritzburg if life is happening in Joburg or Durban?
I think that's where the tricky part has always been with me. I've wanted to move, but also I started something in Maritzburg. Not to blow my own horn, but if I were to leave, I think there's a huge part of the music scene in Maritzburg that could be crippled.
Yeah.
So for me, after I started Lentes Munye, I wanted to move, I wanted to go, but then I decided, let me push this thing, make it solid, be stable, Maritzburg, then I can be able to move, because currently I have a 5-piece band. I've got 17 singers in the choir, and I've got 2 solo artists that I'm pushing. So that's 19 of my vocalists plus a 5-piece band.
Bro.
Who are depending on my ideas and
that's big, bro.
And it is more for them to be able to do what they are doing currently. Not that they wouldn't be able to do it somewhere else, but currently they are part of the team, and that means to say they need the platform. So amanyama gig about because they've been on this platform, that's where they see them.
Brilliant.
So I can't just, I think it would be a bit selfish for me if I were to just drop everything and say, you know what, a goal is let me go.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not
let
after,
me go.
Let me go. Also, I'm not after my own success. The way I define success is how much or how many lives have I impacted. If I can count 17 lives, even if I got a movie as fast as I would want it and as further as I would want it from where it is, I still count it as successful, because there's a person ofike wathola into akwazi ukuyenza yena empilweni yakhe simply because I was able to do what I'm doing. So for me, moving to New York or to any other continent, it's something that is going to come, definitely, but I think it will come with into yoguti. As I move, I'm impacting a life. I'm impacting, So for me, it's we also, if the music space in Maritzburg is dominant, and we all live because these singers, if you go and watch videos, as people that you don't know, you haven't seen them on TV, but they're talented. So if Smunye wasn't doing what they're doing, so one way to cultivate interest in Maritzburg is to not run from it.
Wow. Don't run away from the problems, run towards them. And wow, that's brilliant, bro. And do you think Simunye is like is our modern day Joyous? Or what's the other thing from Soweto?
Yeah, there are choirs.
Or type of vibe.
Type of vibe. Yeah, I think so, because if you check the visions, we've got artists that are part of Simunye. We've got people in the choir that want to push their own projects, but they are part of the choir. Wow. So that's what Joyous Celebration and other choirs are doing. So more or less, in terms of vision, yes, but in terms of what are we, who are we are Simunye, and we've got
Simunye. Yeah. Yo, that's brilliant, bruh. And just having a dream to see abanye abantu succeeding in life, that is so amazing. But who do you look up to?
It's gonna be a funny one. I look up to my father. I'm a full-blown musician. I do music. My dad can't even sing. Because I mean, but my dad can't sing. But I think one thing that my father has done is to actually inspire me. The way he runs the family.
Wow.
Ekhaya indlela esithandwa ngayo nendlela esinikwe ngayo. I'm pursuing music. My youngest brother is going to be pursuing chemical engineering. My sister has always wanted to be a teacher. She's a teacher now. So my dad is like, I don't want to live in Bilo yam doing that. If you want to be a musician, go be a musician.
Yes.
When I was pursuing football, my dad was there. Efunda yonke into ngebhola. Mase ngishintsha sengithi ngifuna ukwenza music. He knew nothing about music.
Wow.
But we lo seyabuza le ngoma lena yini manje lena, because he wants to find out how can I support you. So I really
big ups to your dad.
yeah,
man.
my dad is my role model. If I could be half the man he is, I think I'd be happy. He is a believer.
Yeah.
He is present, and he will support no matter what.
Wow.
But if you say this is what you're passionate about, he will run and be there. And I think I just want to be that person to say I'm here. What
Yeah.
can we do? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my role model.
Yo, wow. And do you listen to any podcasts, read any books?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I used to read a lot. But when it comes to izinto ze leadership, I think I'm more of a person who loves to learn in person.
Yes.
My friends are people that I learn from more than people that say in now. So my friends are a circle of people. So that's how I learn. So yes, reading and listening to podcasts, watching videos, yes I do. Yeah, I do a lot.
Wow. And how do you stay fresh and not have a bald head like me? I'm just kidding. Yeah, thank you so much for coming, Vesu. We really value you, value your time. Thanks you coming from a gig. We really honor you and we pray that God blesses you exceedingly abundantly above all that you could ask, think, or imagine in your life. We see the great work that you're doing, coming out of a show was it 2 weeks ago, going into another show next week. We will be on the lookout for Usimonye. Are you planning on releasing an album?
Yes, we are actually working on a post-production. We recorded an album last year in November, so we'll release the first single in December, and then the entire album the coming year, 2024. So please be on the lookout for it. We have got amazing music that is coming up from Isimunye Music Concepts.
Brilliant, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. To everyone at home, this is my takeaway today, is that fathers, be present in your kids' lives and support their dreams. And just the definition of success is that you serve others, you lean more into assisting others and pushing them up, and the Lord will open a way for you. And I'm very inspired. I believe that you as a believer, you are a leader, you are called, it is valid, it is impossible. It is possible. No matter how many times you have failed, even today, wake up, try again, do it again, be encouraged and blow wind in other people's sails, and you will see you're gonna thrive, you're gonna succeed, because you, my friend, are worth everything. Thank you.